Shabbat Shalom, everybody. So at the beginning of the service, I tell you a few important things. First of all, you know we are streaming the service. So there's a camera there and a camera there. You're sitting too close. We're not going to be able to see you. What? No, I can't see Grandma. She's not going to be able to see Anna. That's what I mean. You may want to move back one aisle. You're too close. So let me tell you, for those of you who were here last week, and since there's almost 200 people here, you were all here last week to remember this. No, we have a running joke about 200 people in our sanctuary every week, because if someone isn't sitting, if someone doesn't have a microphone in front of them, if you're watching it online, you can't hear it all. So I try to tell the people online that there are 200 people in the sanctuary every week, and sometimes they believe me. And sometimes, like my friends in Ireland say that they're part of our sanctuary filled with 200 people every week. We have new friends who discovered us in Ireland. I'm happy about that. But I have an apology for last week. I'm going to start with an apology, which is not my favorite way to start a service. And that is, last week we did Rosh Chodesh, which was true. We did have a new month starting, but I told you the name of the month that we were finishing as if it were the name of the month that was starting. I think it was wishful thinking that I had another month to get ready for confirmation last night and the Bat Mitzvah today and all these other things. But we are actually in the month of Sivan, so anybody who is paying attention, I'm very sorry. And now I'm totally clean for Yom Kippur. I have nothing else to apologize for when Yom Kippur comes. But I wanted to say that. And then I wanted to tell you that today is today and tomorrow, we are on this really bizarre kind of a tightrope, kind of a timeline thing. So for some people, how many people here, well, you could ask, how many people here celebrate Shavuot and the awesome moment of Sinai, blah, 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 and by celebrate you acknowledge? That's good. Everybody in the front row better just raise your hands, whatever, pretend, just say yes. So Shavuot was started last night. We counted 7 times 7 weeks after Passover. I like to argue that Shavuot is the most awesome holiday on the Jewish calendar, that it's more exciting to celebrate standing at Sinai and seeing God's voice and standing with over possibly like 2 million people. And I saw you there for that one because it says we were all there, so I saw you there. But I like to argue that that's kind of a more exciting holiday than, sitting in a booth for a week. Well, like Sukkot, but and don't get me started on Passover and having matzahs and what a crummy holiday that is. No, I'm kidding, obviously. They all have to do with freedom and our relationship with God. But when I was growing up, I celebrated Shavuot for 2 days. And when you celebrate Shavuot for 2 days, then the second day, because all of the holidays, the last day of those, the pilgrimage festivals, I should say, Passover, Sukkot, and Shavuot, the last day of all of those holidays is also a Yizkor, which means a memorial service. And my family has a tradition that we light a candle. The one on the far end is the Yizkor candle, and you let it burn until it's out. When I got married, I was supposed to take my husband's traditions, and he celebrated 1 day of Shavuot. And when and at this congregation, we celebrate 1 day of Shavuot. We have a motto that if it's good enough for Torah, it's good enough for us. No, but a lot of people in the diaspora do an extra day for all kinds of reasons. So some of us finished Shavuot already, and some of us have not yet finished Shavuot. And we are going to behave as if Schrodinger's box, no, sorry. I have a master's degree in philosophy. I can say those things. As if both things are happening at the same time. Anybody know what I mean by that? Okay, good. Don't open the box. But it is both the second day of Shavuot and not the second day of Shavuot, depending on what you need. I'm hoping we will satisfy some of the needs about second day of Shavuot. So you may have noticed that all of the memorial plaques are lit, as if it's Yizkor. The candle is lit for Yizkor, because even if we are not doing a lot of Shavuot prayers, it's never a bad time to remember those we loved. So we felt that that was not a bad thing. And some of the things we're going to be doing, especially tomorrow, when Anna is leading the service tomorrow, will be kind of on the borderline where it is Shavuot and it isn't Shavuot. And you'll see what I mean tomorrow for that. That is your commercial for tomorrow. 2 things I hope you noticed. One is you should be here because Anna's going to help lead the service tonight, and she's going to help lead the service tomorrow. And the other thing is you're very curious now to see what things we're doing. Do you have it? Yes, please. Is that okay? Okay, good. Surprise, more surprises. So we are going to, but now it's Shabbat. Whether you want it to also be Shavuot, that's up to you. And we are going to begin the service by saying how awesome it is for all of us to be here together. I am inviting Anna's siblings to come up, and they're going to lead an opening song so that we kind of get in the mood. They're going to stand in front of the microphone for reasons I've already explained to you. And if you need the words so that you can sing with them, then you can turn to page 128 and look at the top song, and I bet you don't need the songs, because this is already the 4th of the Bat Mitzvah for this specific family, and we always start with this song. That was amazing. Thank you to the family. And now we have another surprise. Actually, I'm going to ask the parents to come up already, although we just lost Ricky for a second. And he was doing this surprise because Anna has not seen her talit yet. But the tradition here is that you wear a talit for morning services, and you wear a talit all day for Yom Kippur, but you wear a talit when you're leading the service. And since she's going to be leading the service, would you please come up over here? I want you to see how beautiful it is. Ricky, you're up. Come on up. Can you see how beautiful? You like it? It's a surprise to her. All right, so she's going to put this on in front of everybody. Ha! Baruch atah Adonai. No, say it. Baruch atah. Max, hold on. Mike. Thank you. Go.
Baruch atah Adonai Asher
Eloheinu
melech haolam Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahitatef batzitzi.
Kiss, kiss. That's really cool. I love this. So I am partial to, and this is not disparaging to anybody else's talis, but I am partial to talises that don't say the blessing on them. And this one has the words to the blessing, but it doesn't start at the beginning. I think that's really cool. I think it's really cool, and it's gorgeous. Fits her. Look at how beautiful it looks on her. All right, so we now, before we continue, because we're starting Shabbat, we have a tradition, and that is that I ask everybody, please, did you have any stress this week? So I want you to leave the stress out of the door. Yeah, just a little. And I want you to take a deep breath. And let it out slowly. Try again. In through your nose, out through your mouth. You feel a little relaxed, shoulders down. So I encourage you to keep breathing. I'm going to not keep telling you when to breathe, so keep breathing through the service. But don't breathe too close to the candles because we're not lighting them again. But I would like you, we are using the Mishkan T'filah. If you have never used this before, it's a very distracting book, which we think is wonderful. So look around on the pages and you'll find other readings that we are not the ones that we chose. And that's fine. as long as you turn the page when we ask you to. But if you're looking at the book in front of you, then look at the bottom of the pages and you'll see that there's 2 page numbers. There's one in black and there's one in blue square brackets. That's the number I'm calling out, blue square brackets. So please turn to page 121, blue square bracket, and please rise. We welcome Shabbat by blessing candles and Kiddush.
As the Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our day be among those who kindle light.
Page 120.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, Sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, and commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We continue on page 123. Lift.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kasho, be'ahava v'ratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techilah, lenekrayet kodesh, zecher litziat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'charta, v'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodecha, be'ahava v'ratzon, hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh haShabbat.
L'chaim. Well, that could take forever for them to pass it for everybody. So you are welcome to be seated, but first you have to say Shabbat Shalom to someone you came in with and Shabbat Shalom to someone you didn't come in with. Please. Everybody deserves at least 3, especially people who look like they're all by themselves. I think you get to sit down for a minute. This is my part.
Okay, good.
Anna chose the readings for today's service, and she will start to lead in a moment. We begin the next part of our service on page 124. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. And I should point out that this book, unlike the previous books, don't tell you when you have to read with us. They don't tell you when you should do responsive reading. So if you feel moved to do, like this looks kind of like a responsive reading to me, you are welcome. Nobody's going to be sad that you read with us, and certainly if you sang with us. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May this synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. So we're going to continue on page 127, and we are going to read the top part responsively. We suggest that. There are days when we seek material things, there are days, am I autopiloting to the last book? Yes, sorry about that. There are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we did not gain. On Shabbat, we seek not to acquire, but to share. There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted. On Shabbat, we stand in wonder before the mystery of creation. There are days when we act as if we cared nothing for the rights of others. On Shabbat, we remember that justice is our duty and a better world our goal. So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace. We're going to be turning to pages 138 and 139 as we welcome the Shabbat bride. We will sing the chorus and the first and last verses. Some people have a tradition of standing and facing the door in the back of the room for the last verse. You are very welcome to do that. We begin on page 138, sorry. Max?
Lecha dodi lekrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabala. Lecha dodi lekrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabala. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Hishmi'anu el hamyuchad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, L'shem tiferet v'litila, Lecha dodi lekrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabala. Boi v'shalom ateret ba'ala, Gam b'smicha v'tzola, Toch emunei am segula, Boi chala, Lecha dodi lekrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabala.
We continue in the middle of page 145. You want to do this one? Okay.
Teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer, on the mystery of a withered leaf, on ripened fruit so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to know, to hope, to despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise, as each morning and night you renew your days. Lest my day be today as the one before, lest routine set my ways. We continue on page 144. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, B'yamad yivrach yiruteh, v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon, u'v'chayedecho beit Yisrael. Bagala, u'vizman kariv, v'maru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach, Le'alam u'almei almaya, Yitbarach, v'yittabach, v'yitpa'ar, v'yitraman, v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, Shemei dekudesha, brichu, le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nemata, da'amin ram bi'alma, v'maru, amen.
Page 146.
Baruch hu Adonai hamevorach.
Baruch Adonai hamevorach le'olam va'ed. 149.
Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim.
Page 150.
Everlasting love. Oh, please join me in the English. Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and Mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. We continue on page 152. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. You may be seated unless you were in any of my Hebrew classes.
She needs this.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושינתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand, and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorpost of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai, your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai, your God. We continue responsively on the bottom of page 157. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say Adonai.
There is one. The high heavens declare your glory. May the earth reveal your justice and love.
From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way.
Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces.
Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been a glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed.
Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice, as Israel did, on the shore.
Mi chamocha va'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot osef eleh, nora tehilot osef eleh. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Please join me reading on the top of page 161. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom, aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim.
Vishameru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Beirim v'nei Yisrael oti le'olam, oti le'olam, oti le'olam. Vishameru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz. Vishameru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. Vishameru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Sorry about that. I messed up.
Please rise for the T'filah, which begins on page 164. Adonai, sifatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your
Page
praise.
166.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha-El Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, V'koneh HaKol, V'zocher Hasdei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Gula Livnei V'Nerem, L'ma'an Shemo B'Ahavav. Melech Ozer U'Mashiach Magen. Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh Hakol Atah Rav Lehoshia. Mechalchel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayeh Hakol Berachamim Rabim. Somech Nofli Verofeh Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar. Michamocha Ba'al Gevurot Umido Melech, Melech Memit Umechayeh Umatzmiach Yeshua. V'ne'eman atah l'chayom hakol. Baruch atah Adonai mechayeh hakol.
Page 170.
You are Kadosh holy. Your name is Kadosh holy. And those who are Kadoshim holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh.
You may be seated. On page 172. You set aside the seventh day for your name, the pinnacle of creation, and you blessed it above all other days, more sacred than all festival times. So it is written in your Torah. Please join with me with this quote. The heaven and the earth were finished, and all their array. On the seventh day, God had completed the work that had been done, ceasing then on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, and ceased from all the creative work that God had chosen to do. Our God and God of our ancestors, be pleased with our rest. Sanctify us with your mitzvot, and grant us a share in your Torah. Satisfy us with your goodness, and gladden us with your salvation. Purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Adonai our God, grant as our heritage your holy Shabbat, that Israel, who sanctifies your name, may rest on it. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. We continue on the top of page 173 together. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. On page 174. Find favor, Adonai our God, with your people Israel, and accept our prayer in love. May the worship of your people Israel always be acceptable. God, who is near to all who call, turn lovingly to your servants. Pour out your Spirit upon us. Let our eyes behold your loving return to Zion. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose presence returns to Zion. Baruch atah Adonai, hamachzir shechinato l'Tzion. Page 175. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us and anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otecha levadecha b'yirah na'avod. We continue on the top of page 177. Please join me. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us, so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'eh lehodot. I'm on page, let's see, what did we decide we're doing here? Page 179, I think. Oh no, we're 179, yes. This was a tough decision. It's all about peace when we get to this service, and which one are we going to do? So I would love for you to join me in the reading at the top of page 179. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamivarech et amo Yisrael, b'shalom. So the next section of the service, page 180, 181, they're supposed to be inspirations for you for silent prayer. And as I like to say, up until this time in our service, we've given you words. Anna chose them. She was hoping that these are the words, the selections that would inspire you. But now you're welcome to choose these words or whatever is in your heart. This is a time when our silent prayers kind of join together, and strength in prayers gets the prayers to open the gates of prayer. We pray silently. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru Amen. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru Amen. Wow. Thank you. We continue on page, big jump to 371. At this time in our service, our hearts and our prayers turn to those who are ill or recuperating. If you have people for whom you would like us to be saying prayers of healing, I invite you to call them out. For all these names, for the names we choose to hold in our hearts, we're going to sing this prayer in the middle of the page for healing. Mi sheberach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. And it has become our tradition, B'nai Zion, to also say a special Mishaberach for those who are our first responders, for those who run into dangerous situations to protect us, our military, police, firefighters, EMTs, doctors, nurses, teachers, veterans. Mishaberach avotenu v'imotenu, may the one who blessed and protected our ancestors guard all those whom we've entrusted with the responsibility of defending our freedom, protecting us, serving us, teaching us, or healing us in this country, in the land of Israel, and everywhere they've been called to serve. Give them courage to succeed and strength to persevere. May they return home safely, and let us say, Amen. Are you ready? Let's do this. This is slipping. Oh, that's good.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat is a time when God commands us to rest. It feels weird to be commanded to rest. You would think that would be something we would want to do. In fact, it feels like it is more important for God to command us to do instead of to not do. The truth is, sometimes I really would rather not go to services or have to take time for doing the family Shabbat stuff. I would rather relax and watch TV. Isn't that what Shabbat relaxing could be? I realize that the older I have gotten, I really appreciate this special Shabbat time of services and prayers and blessings. Lately, it seems like I had to come to services by myself. My friends wouldn't come, and some of my family wouldn't go either. Another thing I realized is that when you get your friends to come, it becomes like a family, and it can make it more fun. When I go, I do feel good, and I'm glad that I went. And I like knowing that there is a good food waiting at home. So stop worrying, even if it's for an hour. Better yet, take as much Shabbat time as you need. Bring your friends, let everything go, be inspired, get a rest, breathe.
Wow, thank you. Man, no better lesson than that. Can I go now? She's doing a wonderful job. That's your commercial for tomorrow. Can't wait to see tomorrow. That was wonderful. I'm the one who I usually look forward to making 3 mistakes, way more than 3 mistakes that I made. I didn't hear her make one single mistake so far tonight, so I'm impressed. Very, very, very impressed. And I have to tell you, Anna, so far, often she has a really little voice. I can't hear her a lot of times. I've even been wearing my hearing aids when I'm with her so that I can try to hear, and I crank it up. I don't wear my hearing aids most of the time, but for her I do. But when we practice and we say, okay, you're about to do this prayer, be loud and proud, and she'll get loud enough for me to hear her. But today, she said loud and proud for that Kaddish, and whoa, that was great. So I have a secret for you. she's been taking some singing lessons. That's what she said, which is more like being in a choir. And I don't remember what she was singing like before, but she's amazing now. She's really amazing. I don't know if it was the singing lessons, but I was telling her this week, and it was even more today. And I want you to try this when you're with us tomorrow. When you sing with her, she's hitting her notes and she's holding her notes. And when I sing with her, there's this like really special feeling that you get inside you when the two of you are hitting all the same notes. I mean, you know what it's like when you're sitting in a crowd and you're singing, and it doesn't matter if everybody's singing the same notes or not. There's something wonderful about being in a group. But when I'm singing with her and we're hitting those notes, it feels incredible. And I love this. I love this. So I'm supposed to tell you some announcements today. So first I'm going to say Shabbat Shalom and Mazel Tov to Anna and her whole family. Tomorrow morning, our service begins at 10 a.m., and it's a little bit earlier than normal, and it is not on Zoom. Most of our Saturday morning services now are on Zoom. That's not happening again for the rest of the summer. We will be at 10 o'clock in this room, and Anna will be leading even more of the service, and she will be chanting Torah, Haftarah. It's going to be wonderful, followed by a Kiddush luncheon, so you should be here. And Sunday, we have a change in plans. So this weekend is Memorial Day weekend. We always put up, it's been a number of years now that we put up or replace the flags at the veterans' sites in the Jewish cemeteries. So B'nai Zion has 3 cemeteries. We will be at Greenwood Cemetery, we'll be at the Texas Avenue Cemetery, we'll be at the Oakland Cemetery, and Agudath Achim is also changing their flags, or we'll help them with that, I don't know yet. But it's a magnificent sight to see so many flags of so many Jewish veterans who have served this country. It's a very powerful thing for us. We were going to do it last week, and then we switched it to this Sunday. But we now have a funeral on Sunday morning at 10 o'clock that we lost Daryl Muslow yesterday. And so his service is Sunday morning at 10 here. And so we'll not be doing the flags then. We'll be doing the flags in the afternoon. I think we scheduled it for 3. Please check the website so that you see what time to come. You're welcome to come and join us. And if not, please drive by our cemeteries because it's a beautiful thing to see. And then Monday, Memorial Day office is closed in observance of Memorial Day. And I want to warn you, I'm hoping I'm not going to say this too many times. Please don't say ever Happy Memorial Day. Please don't. Please don't say that. Memorial Day is a very sad and powerful day where we're remembering those who lost their lives defending us. And it makes me, it hurts when people say something like that. So remember what it's for. You want to say meaningful. You want to say, today I saw something and it said, have a nice Memorial Day. I'm not even sure about that. You want to have your hot dogs and stuff, do what you need, but don't say it. Starting on Tuesday here, we will be in our summer office hours, which are 9 to 12, and Monday through Friday. And I also get to start my summer hiatus. This summer I am on a break, and I'm appreciating that very much. My board has said that they're tired of getting emails at 3 o'clock in the morning every morning, or many mornings, and I need a break. And my mom is having some health issues, so I'll be there for her, and I appreciate being able to do that. And I know I'm okay, I can go now because I've got, like, Anna's ready, she could do services. But seriously, if you think that you can help with services over the summer, please do. There's no pressure, because I'm sorry to tell my friends watching online, we're not streaming the services for the summertime. You can pick whichever book you want, you can do what you want. It could be a sit around talk thing, whatever you want to do. So consider please volunteering for that. Donations were made to B'nai Zion or for the Sisterhood Flower Fund in loving memory of Mortimer Hertzberg by Deb Collier, in loving memory of Fred Phillips by the Phillips and Kallenberg families, and in honor of Anna becoming a Bat Mitzvah by her family. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. We continue on page 586. Is that a page you have in your books? You're the square bracketed 586? And I have to call up everyone who is 13 or under. If you're 13 and under, I need to call you up to help me out here. Please. Everyone else, the ark is about to be opened. Please rise. We'll be at the bottom of page 586. Please open the ark. You may not need to turn the page. I bet you know this one. Go ahead, grab that door. Torahs. And look, they're not white. How did that happen? I don't know. Aleinu l'shabech l'adon hakol, latet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoyer atzot, velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, Lifnei melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. We read together at the top of page 591. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding, loved each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand, but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz. Bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. When the ark doors are closed, you may be seated. Anybody want to kiss? When you're here, you might as well take advantage. Touch kiss. Thank you. You could pass the electricity on. Go ahead. Okay, touch kiss. Good. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. We continue on page 597. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. In our congregation, we include the losses of the people who've died in the line of duty in this country. Since the beginning of January, we've lost 12 people in the United States military. We've lost 44 police officers, including 2 this week. 5 of those officers have been from Louisiana. We've lost 7 canine officers, which means the dogs who serve as in the police force, including 1 this week. We've lost 28 firefighters, including 1 this week. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. I want to remind you also to remember all those who died in serving this country as we remember and commemorating Memorial Day. We continue on the bottom of page 593. The light of life is a finite flame. Like the Shabbat candles, life is kindled, it burns, it glows, it's radiant with warmth and beauty, but soon it fades, its substance is consumed, and it is no more. In light we see, in light we are seen. The flames dance and our lives are full, but as night follows day, the candle of our life burns down and gutters. There's an end to the flames. We see no more and are no more seen. Yet we do not despair, for we are more than a memory slowly fading into the darkness. With our lives we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and death, of light and life. We continue on page 599. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us. We remember, so I should ask, have any of you, because this is a larger congregation than we normally have, and it's made up of people who are not just from here, has anyone lost any immediate relatives this past month? We remember congregants' parents who died within the past year. We remember Melinda Kent's mother, Jerry Miller, and Linda Leah Engelbert, Ruthie Neerman, Charles Edward Crawford, Jerome Harold, also known as Jerry Black, and Ruth Lewis. Has anyone lost a parent in this past year? We remember those who died at this season in years past. All of those for whom we're observing the Yortzites this week included Claire Anthony, Tamara Atkins, Gussie Chernick, Celeste Dreyfus, Gustav S. Friedman, Alvin Gardspain, Claire Goldberg, Clara Goldman, Mortimer Hertzberg, Robert Houston, Ruth Kallenberg, Carl Levy, Ralph Perlman, Fred Phillips, Keith Norman Rabinowitz, Esther Selber Rosenthal, Barney Rubin, Aaron Selber Sr., Molly Shanhouse, Richard Stewart, Robert Simon Treif, Ann Weiss, Mildred Lottie Werner, and Jack Weiner Sr. And those whom we've drawn into our hearts with our own. There are people who stand for the Kaddish because they've lost an immediate family member. Some people stand to honor the memories of those who have no one left to say the Kaddish for them. And some people stand to support the other mourners. The mourner's Kaddish is found on page 598. If it is your tradition to do so, or if you choose to do so, please rise for the Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirute v'yamlich malchute, b'chaye chon u'v'yome chon u'v'chaye d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehe shemei Rabbah mevarach la'alam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yit hadar, v'yit aleh, v'yit halal, shemei d'kudsha barichu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehe shalama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace bestow peace on all who mourn, and may we be a source of comfort to all who are bereaved. You may be seated if you promise to sing really loudly. If not, stay standing. Okay? Oh, you don't need that. You ready? You start me. Keloheinu, ein kadonenu, ein kemalkeinu, ein kamoshi. Page 626.
Mi Eloheinu,
Mi chadonenu, mi chemalkeinu, mi chamoshienu. Nodel Eloheinu, nodel Adonenu, nodel Emalkeinu, nodel Moshienu.
Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu,
Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu. Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu. I can't even count how many mistakes I made so far. Sheesh. It's a good thing it's Shabbos. Do you want to call up the next batch of people, the people we need right now, so that everyone can join us in the Oneg Shabbat? Who do you want to call?
my friends and families.
Oh, nice. You know what this means? This means that the rest of the challah is back there waiting for you. That's what this means. Here, you hold on to the bottom of this. Hold on to the bottom. Let me get a microphone so that we can hear you sing. Everybody, ready? Max, this one's on. One. Ready? Go.
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz, we give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon.
Grab. Take. There's plenty more back there for grown-ups. Yay!
So good.
Thank you. All right, please rise for the closing benediction. I'm not going to tell you what page it's on. We're not doing a page. You ready? You got to finish chewing. That's why I don't do that very often anymore at the end, because I know I have... Oh, wait. It is a blessing for all of us to be here together, especially when we have wonderful things to celebrate. Close. Now, can you whistle? No, just kidding. Help me bless each other. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you. May God protect you. Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May the light of God's face shine upon you and be gracious to you. Thank you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's face always be lifted up to you. Remember that God always has something that God looks up to you about. That's why you're here. May God grant you peace. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. That's what happens when, it's like, you get too much.
Let's turn this off.